Okay, let's just jump right in. I want to challenge a belief that I think stops so many talented people right in their tracks.
Mm-hmm.
It's this myth that being good at interviews is, some kind of natural talent.
Like being tall?
Exactly. Like having a good singing voice. You either have it or you don't. You either glide through or you just stumble.
And that is such a damaging myth. It's
Mm.
incredibly powerful because if you believe that,
Mm-hmm.
then when you feel that intense anxiety, you just write it off as a personal flaw.
Yeah, I'm just bad at this.
Right. And that belief, well, it lets you off the hook for practice, sure, but it traps you. It traps you in this cycle of anxiety and ultimately failure.
That's it. And that is exactly why we are tackling this head on today.
Yeah.
Because here's the core idea of this whole deep dive, and I want you to really hear this.
Okay.
Interview anxiety. It isn't a skill issue. It's not a personality flaw. It is almost always a preparation gap.
And that really is fantastic news
It's great news.
because a gap is something you can close. Skills are abstract. They can take years, but preparation, that's concrete. It's about action.
Right.
So our mission today is to move past just, cramming and actually define what real high-performance preparation looks like.
Mm.
We're going to uncover what those comfortable, successful interviewees actually do.
Okay, so let's start with that illusion you mentioned, the effortless interviewee.
Mm-hmm.
We all know someone like this. They seem to just glide through the whole process. They're relaxed. They connect with the manager instantly.
And they have these great stories,
Yeah.
right? Just ready to go. And it all seems like they're not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, and you watch them and you just think, wow, they are a natural at this. Just pure charisma.
But what you're seeing is the result. It's the final performance, not the rehearsal. The thing is, people who interview well, they aren't born that way. They are just fundamentally practiced. They've run through their stories. They've told their main points so many times that talking about themselves in a professional setting just becomes comfortable.
That comfort is the key. And it's so important to get that it comes from repetition, not from some innate talent.
Exactly.
Think about like a musician. A great guitarist can play this insanely complicated solo while talking to the audience. They're not consciously thinking about where their fingers are going.
Or an athlete, right? Executing a play under huge pressure in the final seconds. They don't fumble because the mechanics are automatic.
Yes,
And that automaticity, that's where confidence really comes from. It's the mechanism that frees up your brain. If you've practiced your core stories, the why me, the why this job, until they're smooth,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
your brain isn't frantically searching for the next word. It's not trying to remember a date from 3 jobs ago.
Exactly. It moves that mechanical task, like telling the story of how you cut churn by 20%. It moves it to the background.
And that frees you up.
It frees you up to be present, to actually listen to the question, to connect with the person across from you, and to react genuinely, not just recite.
So if you're out there and you're stumbling or feeling that terror in an interview, it's a really strong signal that you are trying to perform on stage
Right.
without ever having rehearsed.
Right.
That feeling. It's not a reflection of your ability or your intelligence or if you're right for the job. It is a direct reflection of your practice level.
That's such a powerful reframe. It changes the entire story from I'm broken to my preparation is broken.
And once you see it that way, the solution becomes obvious. You just have to practice the mechanics until they are automatic.
So let's shift gears for a second. We've been on the candidate side. What about the other side of the table? What do hiring managers actually want?
Yeah, this is so important. Because a lot of that anxiety comes from this idea that they're just waiting for you to slip up, looking for
Or
perfection,
looking for a flaw.
which is just not true.
Yeah.
You have to remember, they want you to be the right person. Their job gets so much easier if you succeed. They're not trying to catch you. They're trying to find evidence that you can solve their problem.
Totally. I mean, if they interview 10 people and hire no one, they have to start all over again. They're on your side.
Absolutely. So what are they really paying attention to? We've kind of boiled it down to 5 critical areas. And, they have very little to do with charisma.
Okay, let's break these down because this is where you close that preparation gap. First up, do you seem like you actually want to be there?
It sounds so simple, but it's huge. Your enthusiasm, your genuine interest, it matters. If you haven't done the research to show that this is the place, not just a place, they'll feel that.
That lack of conviction.
They need to see this is a destination for you.
Which feeds right into the second point. Do you really understand what the role is about?
This is about respect, for them, for their time. It shows you've read the job description and actually thought about the team's pain points.
Mm.
When a manager sees that, it's deeply reassuring.
And the third one, this is where I think most people fall down. Can you give specific examples, not just vague statements?
Specificity is everything. It is the currency of an interview. It's so easy to say, I'm a strong leader. That tells them nothing.
Right. It's just a claim.
A specific example proves it. You use a framework like STAR. In Q2, we had a budget cut. That's the situation. I had to redesign our vendor strategy. That's the action. And that led to a 7% cost reduction. That's the result.
That is instantly more credible, more memorable than someone just saying, I'm a team player.
Instantly. Okay, so number 4, do you listen to the question and actually answer that question?
Oh, this is a big one. Anxiety makes you want to just blurt out the script you practiced.
Exactly. The manager asks about resolving conflict, and you launch into your big product launch story because that's the one you rehearsed. You've just failed the listening test.
You have to stay focused.
And finally, number 5, and this one's a little more abstract. Can they picture you doing this job?
Okay, how does a candidate help them visualize that? That sounds tricky. It's not, really. It just means your answers aren't all theoretical. If you're going for a sales job, don't just talk about sales philosophy.
Right.
Talk about the types of clients you'd go after at this company or the market challenges you think they're about to face. You're showing them you already think like part of the team.
I love that. And you know what's so great about that list? What's missing from it?
Mm-hmm.
They are not looking for the most impressive resume in the pile. They don't expect you to never pause to think. In fact, a thoughtful pause is good.
A thoughtful pause shows you're actually processing the question.
Right, and they are not looking for the most charismatic person they've ever met.
Those things might be nice, but they're not the core assessment. The core assessment is, can this person deliver? So what this all comes down to, the single most important factor
Is clarity.
is clarity, 100%. The ability to clearly and confidently say who you are, what you've done, and why you are a fit for this specific job. If you are clear, you're memorable. And the real takeaway here is, clarity only comes from preparation. You can't just find it in the moment under pressure.
You cannot. It's impossible.
Okay, so we've established that anxiety is a preparation gap and clarity is the goal. But we have to define what preparation really means. Because I think people hear preparation and they think cramming.
And they are worlds apart. Cramming is passive. It's, reading the job description a few times on the bus.
Glancing at the company website that morning.
Yeah. That gives you surface-level knowledge. It does not build confidence. It's what leads to that frantic search for words we were talking about earlier. Your body knows you haven't really done the work.
The anxiety is your brain saying, warning, high-risk spontaneous failure ahead.
Exactly right. So this is how we close the gap. This is real performance preparation. There are 5 essential parts to it.
Okay, let's get into it. First one, story identification.
You have to sit down and identify your 3 to 5 key stories. These are the stories that really prove your value. They're your evidence.
Your greatest hits.
Your greatest hits. Exactly. They need to be flexible enough to answer like 80% of the behavioral questions they could throw at you. Don't try to think of a failure story on the fly. Have it ready.
And the second step is the one everyone wants to skip because it feels awkward, but it is the most important. Verbal rehearsal.
You have to practice those stories out loud, not in your head. You need to hear your own voice. You need to feel the words in your mouth. You practice until they're smooth. A clear beginning, middle, and end.
People are definitely thinking, but won't I sound rehearsed? Won't I sound like a robot?
It feels awkward, and that's the sign that it's working. You have to get through the awkwardness of rehearsal so you don't face the terror of a real failure. And no, it makes you sound less rehearsed.
How does that work?
Because when the mechanics are seamless, your brain is free to actually deliver the story with real passion, with real connection. You're not burdened by just trying to remember it.
That makes so much sense. Okay, third component, anticipation.
You have to anticipate the tough questions. You know they're coming.
Yeah.
Gaps in your resume, why you left your last job, salary.
The scary stuff.
The scary stuff. And you need to have thought through, confident answers ready to go. Don't hope you'll figure it out in a moment. You won't. Frame that career gap as something productive and intentional before you walk in the room.
Number 4 builds on that. This is the one that's really uncomfortable but totally necessary. Mock practice.
You have to simulate the pressure. A verbal rehearsal is just you. Mock practice is performance testing. You have to say your answers to another person.
A friend, a coach.
A coach, your partner, even just recording yourself on your phone.
Hmm.
or talking to the mirror. You need to feel that little bit of pressure of answering in real time before the stakes are high. That's how you build the muscle memory.
It's like practicing free throws in an empty gym versus in a real game. The stress changes everything.
It changes everything.
Okay,
Okay, and finally, number 5, deep research.
we talked about this a bit. How do we make deep research actionable?
It means going beyond just what the company sells. Read their latest press releases, see what their competitors are doing, look up the interviewers on LinkedIn, find out what challenges their market is facing right now.
So if it's a software company, I don't just know their product. I know they're maybe struggling to integrate a new company they bought.
Precisely. The goal is to show up already thinking like you're on the team. You can ask a question like, given the recent news about integrating company X, how do you see that affecting this team's workflow?
Wow, that immediately sets you apart.
It shows you understand the world you're about to step into.
You know, what I love about this whole framework is that it's not about turning you into someone you're not.
Not at all.
It's just helping you show up as the best, most prepared version of who you already are. It's the bridge that closes that gap between what you're capable of and your ability to actually show it when it matters.
That's it exactly. So let's just do a quick recap. The 3 big takeaways for you to hold on to from today.
Okay, number one, that interview anxiety. It's about a lack of preparation, not a lack of skill. It's a gap you can control.
Number 2, hiring managers are looking for clarity and specific examples. And that clarity only comes from active rehearsal.
And 3, real preparation is active. It's uncomfortable. It means out loud practice and mock interviews. It is not passive cramming.
And here's the final thought I want to leave you with, because this is where the change really starts. If you have been telling yourself this story, I'm just bad at interviews, I want you to challenge that story right now.
So instead of defining yourself by that old idea, ask a new question.
A more powerful question. Ask yourself, have I actually prepared for this the way a high performer does?
Changing that narrative, that's transformative. It moves you from feeling like a victim of a flaw to feeling empowered with a plan.
It really does. And if you do have an interview or a big career moment coming up and you feel like you need some tactical one-on-one support for these high-pressure situations, w.r.a.c Career Services offers comprehensive interview performance coaching. It's designed specifically for these challenges.
You can visit our website for more details on how we can help you turn that nervous energy into a really sharp focus.